Guys, welcome back to the off-grid garage here in sunny and hot Australia. Bit of cloud situation going on today. But it is early in the morning and we've got already 78, 80, 85, 86, 90 amps outside. Beautiful. Yeah, you have to start early in the morning here because then it's cool outside in the garage. I mean, cool in terms of around 28 degrees. Because today we are not going to work in the cooling room. Unfortunately, we are going to work here in the garage. And apart from charging the lithium, what is it called? The AO lithium battery here. And today's task, we want to put this BMS here, which is the newest Gobelpower BMS. We want to put this BMS for testing purposes into this Seplos battery. Yeah, this is a Seplos battery, but it now contains a JK BMS version 14. If you remember this original battery from Seplos here, this was basically the first do-it-yourself battery on the market. Yeah, it came as a whole set, including the high G 135 ampere hour cells, November 2019. Wow, that is like 6 years ago. Really? That's probably the production date of these cells. Yeah, and originally this battery of course had a Seplos BMS inside as well, which I wasn't a big fan of. Yeah, the charging algorithm is very basic and the balancer is totally insufficient. It's only a 250-300 amp passive balancing and it just doesn't cut it. We did comprehensive testing about the Seplos BMS and this battery in the past. I'll link this down below. You can watch younger Andy in these videos. Yeah, and then at some stage I replaced this Seplos BMS with a JK Inverter BMS. But obviously this front panel here was not designed for a JK BMS. So we had to modify it a bit. Did a bit of a cutout here. One of you guys developed this front panel. Yeah, it's like an adapter plate for the communication board. We covered the old cutouts of the communication board from the Seplos and also designed and 3D printed this adapter for the small 2.5 inch JK Inverter BMS display. And I added a 125 amp breaker, which is not part of the design of the Seplos batteries, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's how it looks like inside. It's a very clean design and installation. This was the first do-it-yourself battery using these PCBs here for the balance cables and temperature sensors. And they're all connected back to the Seplos BMS. And I think from memory we actually cut off these connectors here and soldered the cables for the JK Inverter BMS onto them. So we could reuse these PCBs. Aluminium bus bars. And this little hump here is where the bus bar can flex if the cells are moving. But yeah, very clean and structured design. Compression plate, everything is there. All right, let's disconnect this battery here, make it safe, and then we can take this BMS out and put the new Gobelpower BMS in this battery. I'm not telling you anything about this battery yet. Just want to install it so we can start charging this battery here, because I want to do a comprehensive testing with this new Gobelpower BMS. I had a first look at the BMS and the software and the firmware, all the settings and parameters. It looks not too bad. There are still some minor issues with the software, but overall the potential is definitely there. So first of all, let's put it in here, charge up this battery and see how this BMS performs in daily usage. Because we want to connect this battery here, then in the cooling room to all the other batteries and let this charge and discharge, cycle it on a daily basis and see how this BMS performs. Yeah, especially here with the positive and negative completely exposed, we want to make sure we cover one of them while we are taking off this ring lug and cables and everything. Okay, I'm turning off the BMS. Saying goodbye to the version 14 BMS. And now we are disconnecting the main positive. And now we are doing the same with the negative. Just trying to expose as little of the terminals at a time as possible. All right, main negative is off. Beautiful. So we now can cover all these terminals here, make it really safe, and take off the front panel. We've got 2 screws here on the side. I don't hope we've got any screws underneath. Well, this battery only weighs 60 kilos or so, so we can actually lift it up and move it a bit forward and get to the screws. There's always some neighbor somewhere with a petrol-powered garden tool and making noise when I'm trying to make a video. Geez, we've got electric motors and batteries for that. Yep, there are definitely screws underneath. Damn it! We can just lift this battery and move it forward a bit. So easy. Yeah, 2 more screws. And it uses this terrible Allen key. I hate it. And now we should be able to remove the front panel. We have to disconnect the balance cables at some stage. Very tight. Alright, here we go. Balance cables out. And now it's free. Ooh, the sun is coming back. Let's see how much we charge into the CB530, 23 amps. It all looks good so far, except of cell number 16, which is now the lowest all of a sudden. This comes because I have discharged 440 ampere hours out of this MB56 cell. There was a sticker on top of it actually telling me what I have charged it to. So I did a bit of calculation back and forward. So I discharged the MB56 to the same level roughly, but now it is always the lowest, but that's fine. 25 amps. At this speed it will take... Ah yes, now I remember I made this adapter frame here as well, because the Seplos BMS had different mounting points than the JK BMS. So I developed this adapter plate which fits on the Seplos standoffs, but then provides the right mounting points here for the JK BMS. Look at this beauty. We may have to do the same for the Gobelpower BMS, but let's see and take this one out first. See how we go. Okay, we can leave the positive and the circuit breaker as they are. Alright, let's take this all off. Oh, it's always the floppy disk cable. Terrible. Display. There goes the JK BMS. And here goes the, what does it say? Seplos JK adapter. It even has a cutout here for the communication port. That is pretty cool. Look at this piece of art. That is linked below. Communication board. Display with adapter. I totally have to apologize for this really bad lighting situation here on the workbench. The sun is coming in now and makes these real strong shadows, and it's not ideal to make videos. So now we're putting the new Gobelpower communication board in here. It should be the same. No, it's actually not. At the top here is the JK BMS communication board. Bottom is the new Gobelpower BMS communication board. Spot the difference. Yep. 4 dip switches, 6 dip switches. So the cutout will not be wide enough. I'll just take a sharp knife and cut into the 3D printed plastic. I should be able to make this a bit wider. Yeah, it works itself in. No problem at all. Same over here, a bit back and forward. That should be sufficient. Let me make a clean cut that way. Alright, that's already done. And let's do a first test and see if this works. Oh, like a glove. We also need to uncover this part here, which is the power switch, because the Gobelpower BMS has a power switch. There's just a bit of glue inside, so hopefully we can just push it out. Yep, there it comes. It's just a blob of hot glue. Here it is. Oh no, it doesn't fit. Ah, damn it. A bit more. Nice. Alright, that's all we get. Right, new communication board goes in. Beautiful. I have to open up these holes of the communication board as well a bit. Yep, that's better. Alright, we have done most of the work already. Incredible. Ooh, the display of the new the display of the new Gobelpower BMS is an old friend. 4 buttons, display here, and you can see the shape of the PCB. Looks all very familiar, right? And it should just fit. Maybe it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is a bit different to this Seplos screen. I was hoping with these 4 buttons it just fits, but nah, of course not. Okay, we have to leave this one just outside then. I'm not going to make an adapter plate or something for that, because this will be just a temporary setup in this battery as long as we test this BMS. But now it comes the big problem, because these mounting points are nothing we have seen before ever anywhere. Now even the height does not fit. Look at this. If I line this hole up, there's the mounting point and there's the hole. So it will not fit in any way, and it is super long. It doesn't even fit in between these 2 terminals. Oh wow. Let's see, this is the positive, this goes to the battery. This is the negative going to the outside, so this is P negative here. Alright, needs to go this way somehow. Let's just hope we've got enough space. And then we can connect these ones somewhere over here and connect the battery cable somewhere over here back to the battery. Done. We have to put a big heat shrink or something over this BMS then to isolate it, because the positive will touch the PCB here, or the negative on this side, or even both, which would be amazing. Okay, let's see if it fits at all into the front of this box. Oh yeah, it does. It does. There's actually decent amount of space. Okay, the project can go ahead. So now with all these cables going into a plastic bag, it really looks like a bomb. Okay, let's see if this bomb fits into the battery again. Looks like another Frankenstein project. Oh, and this will be a total effing nightmare. Yeah, already starts. Oh, it's not too bad. It's actually in. It is in. Okay, we have to get these balance cable sausages in there as well. I think this is battery 0. Most negative. The 1 goes in here. A. It says even A on here. Okay, let's leave these ones off for a moment. No, I have to take it off again. Alright, second attempt. So all these cables need to go under the frame. I think we are in. Okay, 1 screw here at the top, or better here at the side. Okay, this is our positive. Balance cable A goes in here. Balance cable B goes in there. Positive, negative, that's all we need. Everything else is done. I know, the problem with this plastic bag now is the heat dissipation for the BMS. But I'm not planning to do a high current discharge or charge test of this battery here, or the BMS anyway. So at the moment it's about full functionality and see how accurate. Well, the most important test of this is how accurate is the state of charge measurement and calculation of this new Gobelpower BMS. Because if this is a lot better than in the JK BMS. So this is the main negative. Let's tighten this. Then, as per manual, plug in the balance cables in the right order. So these ones first. Oh yeah, it is in. Right, positive. Balance cable and... No, that's the wrong ring lock. Alright, that's pretty much everything connected here at the top. Oh, I don't like to have these positive and negative so close together. So everything is connected. Let's turn it on and see if it works. We've got some light. We've got something on the display. Welcome to Use Smart BMS. That sounds so cheap. Analog info. Cell voltage 3.1866. Yeah, shows all 16. Alright, I think we are alive, officially alive. And this was pretty much the whole goal for today's task, to put this BMS into this battery. So now I can get it over to the battery room, connect it and let it charge. And then we want to find out if this BMS is really as accurate as they claim. More about this in a future video. This BMS is not out yet on the market. So as soon as it is available from Gobelpower, I make a very comprehensive video about this BMS, all the settings, parameters, how it behaves, how it works. Just a bit of a teaser for this BMS here. It also has and some other nice features we were going to talk about later. Alright, let's see if I can get these cables in here somehow and close the lid. Alright, I managed to get everything in. The cable of the negative here is doing a loop and it's actually sticking out where the display usually is. So that's fine. Remember, I put these zip tie mounts here on these PCBs because we had a knee installed in this battery. The Seplos BMS was not able to balance these 135 ampere hour cells correctly, so we had to install an additional active balancer to make it work. And this is why all these mounts are here on these PCBs. I like to have my cabling neat and tidy. Oh, done. Alright, this is all connected to my zoo of batteries here now. So I managed to pull this Seplos battery onto this trolley here with 2 empty do-it-yourself cases. Then push this all into the cooling room, put it on the MB56 containing the CATL cells, and from there slide it over to this stack, because this battery will stay there for a while just to observe the state of charge and do further testing with it. So everything is connected, positive, negative now, and we are ready to charge. Charging with 65 amps. So 2 hours, the battery is full. At the moment it shows something like 15 or something. Capacity 16.08%, 135 ampere hours, and remaining 21.7, which is probably not true. Alright my friends, so far this video from today, replacing the JK BMS with a PACE BMS. I'm pretty excited about this new Gobelpower BMS. So in a future video very soon I will show you this BMS and we talk about all the settings and parameters you can set. And hopefully until then I gained enough information and can tell you how accurate the state of charge measurement and calculation is. Because some people, for whatever reason, they don't like the JK Inverter BMS. They use PACE BMS or Seplos BMS. And this new PACE BMS, exclusively produced for Gobelpower, could be a really good alternative to the JK Inverter BMS. So let's see. Guys, thank you very much for your support. More videos are coming soon. Do me a favor and leave a nice comment under the video. If you enjoy watching such content, give me a like. And if you are new here, subscribe, as over 120,000 people have already done. Thank you very, very much. Until the next video, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye.